What was he like? You told a great story about how you got wasted with him, and if anybody is, I used to drink, I used to love it, and used to love Jack and Coke, and if you know anything about Lemmy and Jack and Coke, it's Lemmy and Jack and Coke. He would barely show the Coke to it.
At the Rainbow every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he like?
VLT.
Well, I mean, he was really nice to our band. He was, I got to hang out with him, but when it comes to those kinds of cats, it's partly because I'm so intimidated and enthralled to be in their presence that I don't say much. And also they are who they are and they just talk. So let me just talk. There was one time when I did get really drunk with him was during a day in the afternoon. And I walked by their dressing room. It was us and Motorhead playing in Brussels. Somewhere in Holland. And I walked by his dressing room and his roadie, Tim, summoned me in, and I walked in and I sat beside Lemmy. And Lemmy, a lot of people don't know this, but Lemmy, because he's Lemmy, he can't just be walking around at Burger King and you see Lemmy on the day of the show or anything. He stays in his dressing room until, the show. So he just did cartoons. He would make cartoons like Charles Schultz and Peanuts. He had books of cartoons that he had drawn himself. And so he took these cartoons out and he gave me a book for me to read. And I was opening the book and I was reading the cartoons. And then the punchline is what he writes at the bottom of the cartoon. But and as it went on, I kept drinking Jack and Coke. I was a little drunk and also very nervous. And I didn't want to not laugh. So I would just look at the cartoon. Nothing would really, I would not understand, not because I didn't understand. I was just so nervous. I just knew there was a punchline at the bottom and I would just laugh. I hadn't even read the line. And I would laugh and then he would laugh at me laughing. And then it just got more and more drunk. And then I had to go do sound check. So that was one of the times. And it wasn't because he wasn't funny. It was because he was so intimidating. Like, to me, he was so tall and he was tall. But it was just, it's like, and who he looks is so iconic that when he walks into a room, I think Dave Grohl said it in the Lemmy doc. He said he's like Captain Hook, and he is. He's like the real Captain Hook. And so,
where are those cartoons, Danko? Like somebody must
have
it. I don't know who's got it. Whoever's in charge of it.
Were they actually good, or were you just humoring him, or were you just too nervous to read them?
I was too nervous for anything to register, but I knew I had to laugh. Like, and it's happened a couple of times. Like, there's been like times like that when you're in the presence of someone who's like beyond, a rock star, like they're iconic. And it's weird because you always make fun of these people, but when you're actually one of those people, you get it. Like, you just laugh when you're supposed to. I'm not going to name names, but there's someone and they were cracking jokes and you're just like, like, I don't even know if it's funny. Like, but if I'm not going to laugh, it's going to be super awkward.